let's wrap things up here with all the bets that are in your account currently and ones that you're leaning towards probably putting in there by the time this thing kicks off on Sunday.
So I talked about this a little bit on the 5 Bets podcast. If you're going to do anything side and total, the only thing I like is over. However, I don't like it as much as I like some other bets. Christian McCaffrey right now, this is my favorite bet on the board. Find the best number you can. I saw plus 245 to score 2+ touchdowns in the game. Guys, he did it in 39% of games this year, and if it's still at plus 245, you're implying a 28% chance. If I can get an 11% edge on that bet, I think that's as good as it gets when it comes to how the 49ers include Christian McCaffrey in this offense. I also think you can take a shot on him at 7-1 on most receptions in the game. I like a long shot on Deebo Samuel to be the leading rusher in the game at 40-1, and I like it for this reason. He only needs 1 or 2 carries to pop something big to be able to get to that, and I like it at better than 2.5% of the time. I also like, if you want something a little different, I also like last score in the game to be by the team that wins the game. No, at plus 165, because I do think with the amount of scoring that could happen in this game, you easily could see a team up by 2 scores. The other team gets the ball, gets a score to cut it to 1 score, and then the other team runs a 6 or 7 minute drive to end the game.
Steven, what are all the bets in your account? What are you leaning towards adding here as we approach Sunday?
Bets I have not already mentioned on the show. Chiefs team total over 23.5. Both teams to score at least 20 points, minus 110. Therefore, if you've listened to all my arguments and you still think the 49ers are going to win this game, I think it is highly correlated with the over in this game. So I would think about parlaying Niners money line with the over in this one based on my belief that the Chiefs will at least score some points. Longest field goal in the game will be by Kansas City. This has gotten ballooned out a little bit. It's minus 130. The simple handicap here is Jake Moody is a frightened little rookie, and I wouldn't trust him on a long field goal in the Super Bowl.
I also have that, just to go ahead and throw that in there. I also have that one in my account as well. Butker, just for everyone, Butker was 94% on the season. He was 12 for 12 on field goals 40 yards or longer, 5 for 5 on kicks of 50 yards or longer, and they also lined him up from 60 this year, and he hit that one as well. So, like, they're not afraid to throw him out there from 60, and most likely they're not going to be doing that with Moody, so I also have that one in the account.
And although the playoffs have shown us something a little different, at least during the regular season, Kyle Shanahan was far more likely to go for it on 4th down when he was supposed to than Andy Reid has over the course of the season. So maybe it's different in the playoffs. We'll see. I'm against Adam here on Deebo Samuel. He's taking an outlier, big long shot. I certainly understand it. He could have 1 carry for 40+ yards or take one to the house. I get it. But this is not the same Deebo Samuel usage in the running game that we've seen in years past. So if Christian McCaffrey is healthy, I think it's mostly Deebo in the passing game, so I've bet under 16.5 rushing yards, although I am on an island here. Most of the market has been steaming this up on the other side, so keep that in mind. Also on the Pacheco over rushing yards, he's averaging more than 21 carries a game over the last 4 games. He's a clear bell cow back. Doesn't look like McKinnon's coming back. What else here? Rashee Rice over 65.5 receiving yards, based on the fact that the Niners are top 5 in the league this year in zone coverage rate. So I also don't think that Charvarius Ward is going to follow Rashee Rice. It took them getting down 17 points for frickin' Steve Wilks to change the game plan against Detroit defensively. This is a primarily zone team. I think Rice avoids the top cornerback for the 49ers. Taylor Swift theme prop. You belong with Rashee. That's Travis Kelce or Rashee Rice to score a first half touchdown. Found that over at a couple of different books at plus 120. And the last one I'll mention, I know Patrick Mahomes hasn't been sacked much, but against a good pressure unit of the Ravens, they still got to him twice in that game. I've spelled out all the different ways that they have issues on the offensive line potentially here. Plus prices on 3 of the 4 starting 49ers defensive linemen to have more than a quarter sack. So if they get a half sack, they get credit for this. Really good plus prices here on Kinlaw, on Armstead, and also Chase Young here, as long as the Chiefs don't hold on every single play like they have been doing a lot this year. I think those are good prices.
Wah, wah. 49ers fan doesn't like the holding.
Like we said, I'm on Pacheco over. I'm on Pacheco most rush yards in the game. I have interception props for both quarterbacks, but in the opposite direction. I have yes for Purdy. I have no for Mahomes. The handicap for Mahomes is the fact that he just doesn't have the personnel to throw highly interceptable balls. I mean, if you look at the interceptions at the beginning of the season, if you look, you're like, wait, he threw a ton of interceptions. Go back and look how many of those just doinked off a dude's hands. And like, that's why they ended up as interceptions. It's not because Patrick Mahomes was putting the ball in danger. It's because the receivers were absolutely horrible. So outside of taking outside of taking the couple of shots to MVS per game, he's pretty conservative with the ball. So I have the under on interceptions for him. Like I said, the Kittle over 20.5 longest reception. I also have the under 27.5 longest kickoff return. I just told you how much I like Butker. Butker has a near 90% touchback rate as it is anyway. They're going to be kicking indoors in perfect conditions. And also, my guess is you have a talk with your kick returner and go, you know what? Let's just take the 25 yards. Let's not take a chance on fumbling this friggin' thing and like whatever.
Fair catch the damn thing. Take it to 25.
Yeah. Let's not give the other team a freebie here. You know, like let's just take the 25 and go out there and run our offense. And so I took the under 27.5 for longest kickoff return. I also took Purdy over rushing yards. We already talked about this. Chiefs play a ton of man coverage. When you play a ton of man, you turn your back to the quarterback. Also, they get a ton of pressure. If the pressure doesn't get home, that also creates running lanes for guys. And like we've seen, Purdy has been more than happy to take off running here in the playoffs. And I think that that's not going to change in the Super Bowl. If he can go pick up 6, 7, 8 yards, I think he's going to do it. It's only 11.5. We got to get to 12. So feel pretty good about that one as well. But guys, this is, maybe a couple unders get added between now and Sunday. If that's the case, you can check us out over at the Discord. I'll put those in there. I'm going to wait and see if anything gets ballooned up just too much. And then I would be coming in on the under on that side of things, but feel pretty good about the portfolio that I've got in there right now and feel pretty good about a lot of the handicaps that we have. And you can always get in the discussion over on thelines.com, upper right-hand corner of that Discord. We are talking about it all the way up until kickoff. Hell, we'll be talking about it through kickoff and into the game as we go. Everything we do absolutely free. So if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section, what's your favorite bet for the Super Bowl? What are you on? What did we say over the course of this podcast you think we're complete idiots about? Let us know in the comment section as well. We do appreciate that. Guys, for the final time, at least for the regular NFL season, we'll talk some NFL draft, of course, whenever that rolls around. But for the final time, for Steven, for Adam, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your Super Bowl bets.